Hey everyone, welcome to Arsenal Fan TV, and really, how do you describe that? Beating Aston Villa by 4-0 in the cup final, back-to-back FA Cups now. An absolutely unreal feeling, and it gives me so much positivity heading into next season. But this game, sheer quality from Arsenal to win the FA Cup again, an absolutely immense feeling, and I honestly couldn't be happier for the people that got themselves on the score sheet, for the way we played today, and just so we've really proved a point to a lot of the footballing world today. A great performance from Arsenal. First of all, let's take a look at the team lineup. I think it was a really clever lineup from Wenger, leaving Jack Wilshere out, which surprised me a little. I said in my preview that I'd like to have seen Jack Wilshere start this game. He buoyed Aaron Ramsey, played him on the right hand side. Fair play to Ramsey. Admittedly, he has said in the past couple of weeks he doesn't want to play on the right hand flank, but he was absolutely superb today everywhere he got himself on the pitch. And I think it was clever to start Theo Walcott in that striking role, which was of course the most heavily debated position on the pitch. Walcott interchanged a lot with Aaron Ramsey. At times we saw Walcott on the left hand side of the pitch, we saw Ramsey on the right through the middle. Very interchanging team, and that's what I loved about this Arsenal side today. The way Ozil was able to playing the likes of Sanchez and Walcott and Ramsey, and he just had so many runners in front of him. The link-up play, finding holes where I didn't think there were in between the defence. It was an absolute class performance from Arsenal, so intricate. It's one of the best Arsenal performances I've probably seen of the season. Mesut Ozil, I mean, a special mention's got to go to him. As you know, you could give a special mention to absolutely anyone in an Arsenal colour today. World-class performance from practically everyone on the pitch. Francis Coquelin took his chance really when it came to him, and he's been a revelation for the squad for the past 6-7 months or whatever. He was absolute sheer brilliance in this game today, and he didn't even have much to do in the defensive department, but going forward he was immaculate as well. Cut the play up when he needed to, and absolutely sublime from him. But like I was going to mention, Mesut Ozil, I think early on in the game, Danny Murphy was giving him a lot of criticism early on in the game, saying that he was probably a player that hasn't reached expectations. But I thought Mesut Ozil was actually a player that put in a lot of work today, a lot of graft. He put in a very good performance, was involved in absolutely everything positive that we did going forward, and it was probably, I would say, one of the best performances that Ozil was putting in an Arsenal shirt. Quality performance from him, and all round the whole team. I mean, I could mention individuals over and over again, but all round it was a great display from Arsenal. Not really much else to say on the team lineup. I mean, the only real other thing that I could mention was Wojciech Szczesny starting ahead of David Ospina. Szczesny, you got to say, I'm not too sure if he's redeemed himself as such, but he played really well today, in my opinion. Really did not have a lot to do. Villa had barely any chances to trouble him with, but he made a couple of good punches, a couple of good saves. Wasn't rash, I wasn't too nervous with him starting in goal, and overall good performance, certainly a confidence booster one, and hopefully he'll improve next season if he is still with the club, which, you know, after that I'm kind of hoping he will be. But yeah, all round, very good display. Looking into the start of the game, we started very positively, I think. The first opening 5-10 minutes were a little bit shaky. Villa had a couple of good chances, not really threatening as such, but they were having a lot of the ball, certainly threatening at times, but they weren't getting any clear-cut chances. And after about that 10-minute mark, we really started to make a grasp on the game. We were playing some very good football, very intricate football. We had a great chance, first of all, through Theo Walcott. Shay Given with an absolute world-class save. Amazed how this didn't end up in the back of the net, but we were very unfortunate not to go 1-0 up at that point. Koscielny also had a very good chance if it wasn't for a very good save as well. And it was getting more and more frustrating, and I felt that if we didn't get a goal by half-time, then this game might not have gone in our favour, and it might not have been our day. But man of the hour, Theo Walcott, going into this game on the back of a hat-trick, 100% the right call to start him up top in this game. Took his chance when it came to him. A world-class goal set up solely by him, I think you could say. He plays it in, I think it was to Monreal. He plays it back into Alexis Sanchez. Sanchez plays it down to Walcott. He strikes it on the volley on his left peg, his weaker foot, places it past Shay Given. A shot with absolute power, world-class ability. Couldn't be happier for him after everything that he's gone through, putting in an amazing performance. And I'm really surprised that he scored a goal of that calibre, considering the chance that he missed in the latter stage of the game just before he was withdrawn. But this goal was absolute world-class. Walcott, given everything that's gone on with him in recent months, that he's had to fight back from his injury, that he's been left out of the squad, to get a chance in the FA Cup final, to take a goal like that, to open the scoring, to open the floodgates as it were, was absolutely sublime by him. And we went into half-time with a goal to the good, and that's what we really needed. We went out into the second half, and it was more of the same. I mean, Aston Villa didn't change too much up. I was surprised that they didn't bring on someone like Sinclair or Bonglahor at half-time. That's really what I was expecting them to do, because they weren't getting much joy down the flanks. Grealish, giving him a mention, I said in the preview that he was one of the most dangerous players for them, did absolutely nothing in this game. I mean, you could say that he claimed a penalty appeal, which was a very heavily debated one. I don't want to look too much into that, but Bellerin kept him quiet, and in my opinion Bellerin did more going forward than Grealish did in the whole game, and Grealish is the attacking player, so that really says a lot about Grealish's performance in this game. But we kept them quiet. I mean, the attacking players they got, Benteke, I didn't even see him do anything in this game, and he was responsible for the goal that Mertesacker scored later on in the game, and we just took the second half by a grasp of the neck. It was a very easy second half for us, especially the start of it, and we got that goal in about the 50th minute. Alexis Sanchez, this is a goal that's going to be replayed on television for the next 50 years or whatever. World class goal, absolute world class, picking it up, making it himself, and then placing it over Shay Given, hitting the crossbar and back into the back of the net. It was a goal that you couldn't possibly have dreamed of occurring in this cup final. 2 goals up, 2 world class goals, and Theo Walcott and Alexis Sanchez, 2 players that I think every Arsenal fan has been craving to see this season play together, and their link-up play, the battle that both of these players showed was absolutely superb, and that goal from Alexis Sanchez just epitomised his season. It was a world-class goal, and certainly one that was worthy of winning the FA Cup trophy. And Villa looked dead and buried from that point, making it 3-0 not too long after that through Mertesacker. A great corner delivery. Benteke did awfully marking Mertesacker, and then Mertesacker places it, one of the easiest goals you're going to see, and one of the easiest goals that he's ever scored in his career, and places it into the back of net. 3-0, easy as you like, game done. And from there on in, we shut up shop. I mean, this game could have been about 6, 7, 8-0. I mean, in the second half, Olivier Giroud came on. We saw Jack Wilshere come on. Giroud's hair kind of looking similar to the kits that we were wearing. Not too sure about his hairstyle, but it looked very good in that second half. I mean, it really did. One of the best performances that I've seen from Arsenal today. We made it 4-0 with Giroud, the face of Hugo Boss, with a lovely, lovely goal. One that we've seen so similarly from him this season, time after time. Placing it into the back of the net, pass given, 4-0. One of the easiest games we've had all season, in truth. I mean, we gave absolutely everything in this game, and it just showed what a class team we are. A great performance. Also good to see Chamberlain get a couple of minutes on at the end of the game, but I couldn't be happier with how proceedings have gone today. One of the best performances that I've seen from Arsenal, one of the best squads that I've seen. I mean, look at the players that didn't even get into the team today. You've got Chambers, you've got Rosicky, players that couldn't even make the bench. Arteta as well, who lifted the trophy alongside Per Mertesacker. A very good assembly of players that we've got at our disposal. We are about 2 or 3 world-class players away from winning the title, and if we continue to put in performances like that, then you know, it's going to be really interesting next season. If we've got someone like Coquelin playing alongside someone like Schneiderlin in big games for us next season, where we're able to shut up shop, we're able to close teams down, it's a great position to be in, and we've got to strengthen in some. I mean, Wenger's got to look at the game today and just think to himself, you know, we've got the money, we've got the resources. If we just add a couple of additions to the team, if we get a world-class striker in who's going to guarantee us goals, if we get a midfielder, and if we get someone like Cech up in the goal, then potentially this is a title-winning side. But let's not get carried away. I mean, it's the FA Cup. We've got a top 3 finish. Certainly those European qualifiers, not having to compete in them is going to do us the world of good, I think, especially in the transfer market, as we've already got Champions League qualification guaranteed, and we don't have to worry about those games at the start of the season and potentially get injured players. We go into next season with a fresh and hopefully injury-free squad. Players like Ozil, Sanchez getting a very good pre-season under their belt. Of course, actually saying that, Sanchez, of course, going to the Copa America, no respite for him, but I mean, things are looking positive. I mean, I know I was saying all this stuff this time last season that we should be challenging for the title next year, but I mean, we've got quality players in our side now. We're playing very fluid football. The extent of how we won this trophy just shows that we've improved from where we were last season, and I'd like to think that we go into next season competing from the off for the Premier League title. We need a couple of signings to do that, but things look very positive as it stands. But this has been my review of Arsenal's 2015 FA Cup victory against Aston Villa, beating them by 4-0. Yes, 4-0. Say that back to yourself. A great victory in the final. Leave a like if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV. Do check out my own channel, AFC Game by Game. I'd really appreciate it if you did that. Don't know what I'm going to be doing over summer, to be honest. Hopefully I'll try and get as many features done as possible regarding transfer news, issues with the club, etc. and where I'm predicting will be next season. But leave your thoughts on this amazing FA Cup victory in the comments box below. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll speak to you when I do.